Hi everybody, we're Alicia and Kodiak.
Yep, and Sage.
And Sage. And we are the NoCo Nomads. And today in this video we will be sharing our experiences and our lessons from living in a van full-time for the last 4 years.
4 years.
That's a long time.
The question is going to be at the end of this, we're going to keep doing it? So our channel is all about travel. We're going to focus on FOMO travel. So if you're afraid that you're going to miss out in some area, watch our channel. We're going to be producing content so you don't worry about missing out. Hit that subscribe button down below if that sounds fun and entertaining and you find us fun and entertaining. And if not, you know, dislikes are okay too. I don't care.
We're also going to be talking about food a lot. Like, we've decided that food is a huge part of our travel experience.
So if that sounds fun, join along with us, subscribe, and we'll get on to the video.
Yeah, let's talk tips. But first, let's make lunch because we are so hungry. Oh my gosh.
Alicia, quit throwing stuff around.
So today in this video, our tips and tricks are going to be about the van and the lifestyle.
The adventures and the lessons learned.
Because all of those are very key.
Yeah, they really are.
Let's talk about our van. So when we first started, we did not have this van.
This is the second van.
Right.
So the first van, named aptly Dova, which is, you know,
we're super nerdy.
Skyrim for dragon. Because whenever we would go drive up over a mountain pass, the thing would downshift and it would just sound like a dragon roaring up the frickin' canyon. It was terrible. It was terrible. The van itself, I mean, there's videos of it on the channel, but the van itself was old. It was a 1996 Econoline. It was basically what we could afford.
It was only like $2,000.
Yeah,
I think is what we spent.
Yeah.
On it. It was disgusting.
People had thrown up in it, so we had to pull all that out.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
Oh.
So we had to gut the whole thing.
Yep, we lived in that for
Only a year.
Yeah, 1 year.
We wanted to make sure that we wanted to do this, so we didn't want to spend a ton of money. I think our conversion cost
all in all
$5,000 total.
Yeah, $5,000. The van itself cost $1,800, I think.
Yeah. If you're starting out, by no means do you have to go out and purchase the freaking $20,000 ProMaster.
That's cute.
I know.
Try like 40 for the just the shell.
Okay.
Or the $100,000 Mercedes Sprinter.
Exactly.
If you ask my opinion, never buy a Sprinter. We decided then to work that entire first year out of the van, not travel very much. We traveled some. But we basically took that entire year to buy this van, which was a brand new off the lot 2019 Ford T250. So it's a transit van. The main reason is Alicia can stand up, which was a requirement. Look at that! Yay!
Yay!
You're probably out of
headspace.
We went with the Ford because we test drove the Ram. The Mercedes was like out of the question, way too expensive, so that left the Ram ProMaster and the Ford Transit. We test drove the Ram ProMaster first because that's what everyone did, and it's like, oh my god, converting it's so easy. So we basically test drove that, and it was like,
because the walls are straight.
Yeah, because the walls are straight.
You can convert it because the walls are straight. Okay.
So like you were driving and the end of the hood felt like it was at your knees, which I didn't care for. Like we could have gotten used to it, but it was just weird.
Kind of makes you feel like you're driving a bus.
Yeah. Yep.
Which we didn't like. So
then out of humoring ourselves, we were like, well, let's go down and test drive the Ford. The Ram ProMaster felt gutless. I mean, you'd step on the gas and there's no go. Jumped in the Ford, it felt like driving a pickup truck, not a van, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And it actually has power. So I'm not worried about getting up hills and down hills and doing all of the things that you need to do.
We have turbos.
It's twin turboed. We have the big motor, which is 16 miles to the gallon, 16 to 17. Yay. But whatever.
It is what it is.
Yep. So that's the van. decide if you're going to be living in your van or if you're going to be living out of your vehicle.
Right.
The distinction there is, are you going to be cooking outside all the time, or do you need a place to cook inside when the weather's crappy?
Yes. Are you going to be moving with the weather, or are you going to be urban camping?
Which changes the way that you set up everything. So that kind of naturally leads into our second topic. Don't be afraid to try multiple layouts.
Right.
When people ask me the layout that they should do, I say take your number 1 thing and make your van about that. Take your number 2 and number 3 thing and then make the auxiliary stuff that goes like secondary to that, and keep those in mind when you're designing it. Everything else will kind of naturally fall into place.
Cool. Yeah.
That's really scary for sequential people. That is very, very scary for sequential people. But,
Right.
Trust the process.
Right. And for us, that was our kitchen. Our kitchen takes up probably 2/3 of our van. It's a lot. And then our second need was definitely a comfortable bed, and then being able to work in it.
Yep, which was our third one. And realize your first van build, you're not going to keep it.
You're not.
You're not. You're going to go, oh my gosh, it's so important to have a pooper.
Or oh my gosh, I can't believe that I thought I could go to the gym every time I wanted to shower. Or I'm going to put in a shower. Or I can't believe I thought I could get away with only 5 gallons of water.
If you're getting into it, you're going to have to learn what you like and what you dislike. Our stuff is
Stir the
boiling over.
noodles!
Hold on. Pause!
Noodles! If you think that you're going to live a specific lifestyle, like you're like, yeah, I can totally live out of my vehicle, not in it, and then you go 6 months and you're like, wow, I was really, really wrong. That's okay. This is our second van, and we have rebuilt this van 3 times so far.
Yep.
And
3 times.
Not even like small rebuilds. Definitely be flexible. Know that Vanlife is all about flexibility. In the layout, in the van type, in your travel plans, in your lifestyle, where all of a sudden everything is completely different when you first start.
Yep. Your hobbies are pretty much going to dictate where you go and how you live.
Right.
So we hike a lot.
I mean, the lifestyle is really, it's challenging. You have to be okay with yourself. There's no running away from your problems. You're the only person in here, or you and your partner. So if you have relationship issues and then you go and you
think this is going to solve them?
Yeah, that's not.
It will solve them.
You'll be forced to talk about them.
As a couple in van life, the question that I get the most often is, oh, where do you go when you're mad? Well, the answer to that is nowhere. If you need space, there's 12 foot of space in here, which sounds like not very much, but it's very easy to have someone up on the bed, someone up in the front. You can be doing 2 completely different things, and it feels like it's just cat time.
Other rooms of the house per se.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're in a place where it's not super cold, you can go outside and you have the whole world to walk around. Communication is 100% key, and you're gonna have to communicate way more.
Rule of thumb is don't let it simmer. You can't let it simmer in the van if you're going to be a couple.
Right.
If you let it simmer and then you blow up, well, then you're freaking yelling at each other in a Walmart parking lot. The other thing is you're in a tight space. You're going to have to get used to your partner in ways that you never thought that you had to. That's a big, big aspect of it. When you're sitting down and you're like, oh my gosh, I have gas. Yeah, you can't go in the other room to fart because guess what? There's one room, man.
Right.
You're both hotboxing each other and it's not pleasant.
Right.
That's just the way it goes.
That's the way it's going to be.
It's the way it is. It's the way it is.
You can step outside.
Yep.
No, we didn't really talk about the pros of living in a small space. You'll have less stuff.
That may sound like a con. But it's not.
We enjoy the fact that we have less stuff. It means that everything that we have, we use.
And is higher quality.
Yes.
The stuff that we buy out of necessity is higher quality. One of the cons, though, is your clothes. You're gonna have 7 shirts, 3 pants. That's what I have personally. And because you have 7 shirts, guess how quickly they wear out? Very quickly. So it's a con because you're gonna go through your shirts and your clothes. The pro is you get to buy new shirts and new clothes pretty often, which is kind of fun. You get to change it up, and you only buy the stuff that you know you're going to wear because you don't have the room for the stuff that you're not going to wear. And the pasta is ready to be mixed with pesto, so let's make some more food before we go over the last two.
Our last two. Adventures and lessons learned.
Yep. Because adventures is why you get into van life. Because you're tired of going from work to home, to work, to home, to the bank, to work, to home.
Yes.
So, let's talk about adventures.
Okay, let's do favorite states,
Okay.
favorite national parks,
Okay.
and favorite additional...
Noteworthy activities.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite states. Two immediately come to mind for me, which is Maine and Utah.
Ooh, I was going to say Maine and Arkansas.
I have to put out there, we haven't been to them all. We haven't experienced them all. The qualifier that we do is we have to be able to get a feel for what the people are like, and we have to try the state food. Driving through the state does not count. Maine was freaking gorgeous.
It's amazing.
I mean, the ocean up against the side, Acadia National Park is probably one of my favorite national parks.
Right.
Like, it is an amazing, amazing national park.
Bar Harbor, the food,
town.
lobster rolls, blueberry
Yep.
pie. It was just like everything about it was just what we love.
The people were cool.
Yeah. It was a really cool trip.
Utah makes the list for a couple of reasons. For one, slot canyons are like my jam. I adore them. They're so cool. I don't know why. It's just super cool. The state is just unbelievably gorgeous.
And there's so much variety in Utah.
Yeah.
And mine was Arkansas.
Oh yeah, Arkansas.
Arkansas was amazing.
The forest was beautiful.
People were really, really nice.
Hiking trails, gorgeous.
Super, super diverse as well. And their state food was possum pie, which
It was really good.
was pretty good.
We ate it at a train restaurant.
Right.
It was kind of weird.
I don't remember the name.
Super cool. Yeah. Favorite national parks. We'll do two each. My first favorite national park, I'm going to leave Acadia out because I already mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably my favorite because of the hikes and the gorgeousness of the mountains hitting the ocean. So that one's out, but that is my first favorite. My first favorite otherwise is probably Sequoia National Park. No, Kings Canyon National Park. They sit like right next to each other. They're practically the same park. But no one goes to Kings Canyon.
Right.
But standing beneath a sequoia tree is just... you can't describe it. It's something that you have to feel. It's like powerful.
It's awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
It makes you feel very small.
Yep.
I think Yosemite.
Yosemite was cool.
It is just the most majestic place I've ever seen.
You have to do it right though. So when we did it, we didn't want to pay for the permit. So we got up and we got in there before the sun came up.
And I think it was like the start time for permits was like 6 o'clock in
Yeah.
the morning, so we had to get there by like 5.
We were in the valley by 5:30, basically. And that one was gorgeous. We beat all of the crowds.
But Yosemite has beautiful waterfalls, it's got beautiful forests, there's
Damn
wildlife.
good hikes. My next one,
For
probably Crater Lake.
Really,
Crater Lake was super cool.
it was cool.
For one, it felt extraterrestrial. Like, it didn't feel like we were on this planet. That, and we hiked down into the base where you can actually go swimming in the lake. And there's a cliff jump there. That's probably the first real cliff jump that I did. It was, 20 foot? That was fun. That was like, man, I had a blast at Crater Lake. That was super, super cool.
Yeah, that was definitely a cool one. I'm stuck between 3. Glacier, which is just cool.
Yeah. We took some awesome photos in Glacier National Park. That was a cool one.
That was very cool. Capitol Reef in Utah. And lastly, Haleakala in Hawaii.
All right. And then activities, right?
Yeah, our favorite extra activities. Like something we did that...
Being someone that rides BMX, being able to go through all of the different BMX parks and see and ride different parks, super, super cool. It's the same thing with mountain bikes. You get to go over, ride all the different mountain bike rides and areas and trails. Amazing. Surfing, I've surfed on the East Coast and the West Coast. I'm not a big surfer, I suck at it. So it was fun to feel what terrible waves are like on the East Coast, because the waves in South Carolina were not as good as the waves in California. I don't know much about it, so like, you can fight me, I'm not going to put up a fight. So yeah, activities for you?
Going to Japan. That's an activity, sure. International travel.
Okay, you have to justify this
Okay,
though.
so the only reason we've been able to save up, and we went to Japan in 2020.
Mm-hmm. And Ireland.
And then Ireland this year?
This year? Yeah.
This year. Was it last year? This year is just the fact that you save so much money not paying rent.
Yeah. You have to do one more. I did 2.
Oh, going to Ireland.
No! It has to be a van life activity. The only reason you're doing 2 is because you copped out.
That's not a cop-out.
That is a cop-out.
That's not a cop-out.
You can say hiking.
Hiking. Okay, the Devil's Causeway.
That was a cool one.
So it is in Colorado. We took a trip with Kodiak's brother up there and took this photo. The causeway is like this big, narrow... There is no safety here. So, like, if you're scared of heights, do not do this hike at all.
Yeah.
Because our dog got freaked out.
We had to carry her across.
We had to carry her because she was so scared. Anyway, it was a little sad, but amazing views. Bring mosquito repellent.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like a 12-mile hike, so also be an experienced hiker. Bring all sorts of stuff. It's above tree line.
Yep.
So make sure that you're very prepared.
Yep.
But
that
totally
was a cool
worth it. Totally
So
worth
hiking was the activity.
Yes.
If you missed that.
Yes, hiking. But I gave you an actual hike that we have done.
Lessons learned, honestly, probably don't revolve around van life. I mean, there's a couple, like trust your gut. Ooh. If your gut says this isn't a good place, then listen to your gut, because guess what? It's probably right.
You know more than you think you do.
You know way more than you think you do. Everything appears scary in the dark, though.
Yes.
So, like, keep that in mind.
Listen to.
Listen
Everything
to.
is sketchy in the dark.
Everything is scary in the dark.
You roll into a spot and you're like, dude, we are gonna die here. Or you roll past some stuff and you're like, man, this looks like a burned down, abandoned town. And you wake up the next morning and you're like, yeah, it's just a normal town. I don't know what happened.
Yep. Don't care what other people think. In van life, you realize when you tell someone that you live in van life, they're gonna judge you, right? But you have reasons.
She made a noise.
She made a noise. You have reasons that you're living van life, and as long as you can articulate them well, they're gonna change their mind. So if they're going to change their mind, why did you care about their disapproval in the first place?
Or worse than that, you're taking disapproval and criticism from somebody you wouldn't take advice from.
Yep.
Don't do that.
No, that's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Hygiene is super important. You're gonna get dirty because you're spending a lot of time outside usually.
Yep.
So just little things.
Washing your face at night.
Yeah, and when you're going for a hike, making sure that if it's in the middle of July and you know you're gonna get sweaty on this hike, make sure to schedule some time to go to the gym to take a shower or have some sort of
spit
bath, sponge sink bath available to you. My second one is your small space gets dirty fast. So really put a lot of time and effort into organizing, make sure that everything has a place.
And it goes back in the place. That's the thing that I suck at the most.
When
it goes
take
back.
It out, it goes back.
Even if something fell into that spot, put that thing back and put it back.
Which is, of course, your van is never going to be like 100% perfect all of the time. But it really does add up really fast when your space is so small. And thirdly, and the last one, consider going to the laundromat with someone who has used one before, if you haven't, before you get into van life. Because we were in Montana and we had to do laundry on the road for the first time, and we didn't know what to do. And so we kind of looked like idiots. Luckily, we were in a place in a laundromat that had an actual attendant there that could help us and clearly saw that we were struggling. And we were in a college town, so it wasn't out of the norm, I feel like. But But if you've never done that before,
watch a YouTube video.
I don't know, do something. It's not as scary as it sounds, and it's super easy. It's just like one of those things where you walk in, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
When we first started, I was so worried about finding places to sleep, to park for the night. iOverlander, great app. Definitely recommend using it.
We've used most of the apps. iOverlander's the only one to use.
Yeah.
Find another one, leave it in the comments below. Like, seriously, if you find another one that's better than iOverlander, leave it in the comments.
Tires in the van are super important.
Yeah.
Crappy tires will add to the stress, and you don't need that. So
yeah,
just get good tires. They're worth the investment, and I think that's all I have to say about that.
Put it this way, this is your mortgage, so invest in your property, invest in your van to make sure that it can take care of you.
Right.
Because when you're out on the road and it can't take care of you, it's up to you then to take care of it, which is not fun.
Get chains for your tires.
And you can use them when you're stuck in the mud.
By no means.
That's the only time we've used them.
I know.
No, we've used them once in the snow.
And the last tip, I swear I'll be done. Know how tall your van is?
Oh yeah.
We used to fit in some drive-thrus, and now we fit through none, which led to us pulling up to a Dutch Brothers drive-thru and being like, yeah, we're under 9 foot, and then being like, yeah, but we added our little antenna, so now we don't fit.
So we had to back out. That was fun.
So definitely make sure it's worth it. There are national parks where that's a requirement. Know how long your van is, know how tall it is.
Yep.
So, all in all, that is our 4 years in van life. From the van, to the lifestyle, to the adventures, to the tips.
Generic tips.
Yeah, tips and tricks that we have learned over 4 years.
And we're super, super happy and excited that we were able to do these things. And we're still going to be doing them. We love this life. So if you made it this far, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you. We hope that this information was valuable to you. And that if you're considering van life, this helped you make your choice.
And if you have any questions for us, seriously leave them in the comments. We look at them all. We'll respond to them all. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yes.
We'll see you in the next one. Hit the thumbs up if you made it this far, seriously.
Like, subscribe, review.
Bye!